Today, I would like to show you how I reduced my payment for railway service using Cloudflare MCP and skills for railway. The first thing that you need to know is that usually if you are hosting services on railway, you can configure Cloudflare that is caching requests that are coming to your website, so your service backend not always called, because previously Cloudflare is just serving some JSONs that were cached. And this technique is very useful if you would like to limit the resources used by your service on Railway. I just set up Railway, then I configured Cloudflare in a very minimalistic way, and then I was a bit shocked that I have a quite high bill on Railway. So I decided to just check the newest Cloudflare MCP, which seems to be a very optimized one. So what I was able to do, I could just go to the Claude and ask it to perform certain operations on Cloudflare and get back to me with report. I will show you just in a second how this works. But another component that was needed for me was Railway Skills, because I also want to use Claude Code just to ask for logs coming from Railway, so Claude can analyze what is happening in the Cloudflare, what is happening inside the Railway, so what are the logs, what are the memory usage and stuff like that, and then use this data, combine it, and then just offer me the plan how I can reduce the bill, how I can cache more requests, how I can improve the speed of my website and just pay less for Railway because I have Cloudflare option to just cache some JSONs. So thanks to the skill that I installed for the Claude about Railway, Claude was able to use CLI and just fetch some logs from Railway instance and just spot some stuff that is happening inside my instance and just dropped this specific report in debug perf. Now I will just ask, now please go to Cloudflare using MCP skills and find what is cached, what is not, and how I can reduce usage of Railway thanks to Cloudflare features. So what is cool about that is, of course, if you are really familiar with Railway and Cloudflare, you can do most of the stuff manually just by going to the dashboard. But if you are a person that is not really familiar with Cloudflare and Railway, then the skills and MCPs are quite useful way to just offer you tips what you can do. In the plan mode, or if you are just starting with this setup, you can just provide only a read access to your MCP server and your skills, and just fetch all information, dump them into some markdown report, and then start talking with the Claude Code what you can exactly start implementing in order to fix your bill. So here we can see in the back some calls. So right now the MCP by Cloudflare is basically analyzing what is happening in my configuration on Cloudflare. As you can see here, there are a bunch of queries, some GraphQLs, stuff like that. And it's just fetching the info about my portal. And shortly we should have the report dumped into the same folder, and then we can just start working on it. After processing, finally we have some really nice results. And the great thing about this is that you don't need to know Cloudflare, you don't need to be a Railway expert. Plus, Claude Code is also combining knowledge about your project. So in that case, I'm using Next.js, so it's perfectly aware of all kind of issues that Next.js might have, like image optimizations, like wrong cache headers. So all these things are combined together. And if you, for example, generate a Cloudflare token with write access, then you can even let Claude to actually improve stuff within your Cloudflare account without you logging in into that service. And this is actually what I did. So I just took these 5 quick wins. Previously, I also ran another iteration of this flow, and I detected some endpoints that were not cached before. And just by applying these very simple steps with Cloudflare, MCP, and Claude, I was able to reduce a lot of memory that my Next.js app was using within the Railway project. I highly recommend you to start playing with these tools if you are using Railway and Cloudflare. If you are afraid of messing up anything, so you always can just stay with read-only API tokens, and then you are sure that even if Claude or Codex go crazy, you will not destroy your production service. So it can just read info, combine for you a report, and then of course you can manually adapt each of these changes inside Cloudflare. So it really worked well for me. If somebody is not really into these things that deep, I think this MCP server helps a lot. I also really like the Railway skill plus CLI. So whenever I have some problem on production in Railway, I'm able to fetch the logs and just ask Claude, please analyze the recent logs and try to suggest some improvements or fixes to the errors that are showing up there. Let me know if you tried any other MCPs or CLIs or skills that worked well for you. And thank you for watching this video, and see you in the next one.